Hey up, you lot. Now, I own some very boring and strange records. If I'm in a charity shop or a flea market or something like that, and there's a record that's strange, spoken word, and apparently dull, then take my money. I'm having it. And that's how I've ended up with things like The Life and Works of Henry Moore as a double LP set. Unfortunately, I haven't got the slides to go with it, so I'm not quite sure about the sculptures that they're talking about. I've also got like British Castles of 1965, where they just tell you about castles. You're better off looking at the castle, I know. In my defence, I was, quite a few years ago, I was in a kind of experimental neo-folk type outfit, and we didn't have a vocalist, and we used to use samples from weird vinyl things that we found. We had fun at the time, but looking back, it's probably very pretentious. But the most boring I ever found, that I think I have actually used in one of the old recordings. I'm just going to show you that there's a couple of different series. But the first one is called The Sun and the Skin. Now these are 7-inch records. There's some scribbling on the inside of that one. What's that? Someone's been doing some maths. He's got 60 pence left. And it was, who was it? Martin Thomas David Nelson Davis, who took great offence to whatever it said there. So these very strange little things were, as far as I can tell, they were sent out by pharmaceutical companies to medical practitioners, and you get like a medical symposium on the record, and then it tells you all about the product that will address this, whatever medical issue they've got. So these two are from Stifle Labs. So we've got The Sun and the Skin and The Dry Skin. Now they even give you a little bit on the back from the actual symposium, from the actual lecture. If additional supplementary oily phase is called for, oil item application is a simple non-medical ointment base with which to do it. So even if you're flicking through these at the record shop and thinking, do I fancy that? You get a little taster of what's to come. It's like, man, that sounds so cool. I've also got these, which are, is it pronounced Ciba? It's CIBA Labs. Now these ones, these are even on Discogs. Ciba Laboratories have got their own like discography. You can have a little look at it. Now this was an ongoing series, and I've only got numbers 4, 5, and 6. So number 4 is Which Patients Need a Diuretic. And we will listen to these. We'll have a little listen. So this is for to promote a drug called Navidrex K. And like with the dry skin ones, you get like a little 45 inside with a medical lecture on. We've also got like a little question card, which is quite cool. If you do not expect to play this record, please state why not and return this card. So your options are no record player at home, which would actually impede you listening to this record, wouldn't it? No time available. I'm way too busy to listen to a symposium on which patients need a diuretic. The subject is lacking in interest to me. Yeah. Or other reasons, please specify. And also, if you expect to play this record, please complete and return this card after playing. Did you play the record on one side only or both sides. I like that. Just one side only. Do you know what? I picked this up at HMV last week, and it really looked more like my kind of thing, which patients need a diuretic. Got it home. I just found it really difficult to get into. I listened to side one, but, you know, I just wasn't feeling it, so I didn't bother with side two. Did you find this record very interesting, fairly uninteresting, or without interest? Well, I can tell you, SIBA postgraduate educational series, very, very, very uninteresting. And then the last question, would you have preferred this lecture on a cassette instead of a record? That would on an 8-track. I want it on an 8-track so I can listen to it in my Ford Cortina as I'm like burning around. So yeah, we've got which patients need a diuretic. We need to pick one of these to have a little listen to. I've also got number 5. Now, that one, number 4, is on Discogs. This one isn't in the SIBA Laboratories discography. So I can finally contribute something to Discogs. I've got records that aren't listed on Discogs. I'm so excited. So, yeah, this is promoting Trasicor, an 80mg dose for all grades of hypertension. And number 5 is a report on the symposium, New Perspectives in Beta Blockade, May 1972. Very exciting. Again, you just get the little 45 in the sleeve. Oh, they play at 33, actually. There's the label. Very thrilling. And then we've also got... Oh, number 6. These were from a charity shop, and I just found them. Oh, we've got... Oh, right, there's graphs inside this one. Just buckle up, kids, because this ride is going to get wild. So this one, number 6, is a report on a symposium, the treatment of hypertension. A time for reappraisal? I think so. Edited by Dr. A.J.F. Fletcher. So this one inside is promoting Trasicor 80mg. This one's printed inside. Look at that. You get a full rundown of what's on the what's on your little 7-inch record, but you also get this little booklet. Oh, now that even looks like insufferably dull, doesn't it? So in the booklet, there's graphs. Ooh, I don't quite know what the graphs. Oh, that's the key highest diastolic pressure. If anybody's needing to refer to diastolic pressure, that's where you need to be looking, kids. Mean reduction of supine systolic BP. Obviously, it's in mm and Hg. So, oh, that's quite cool. Little weird flowcharty thing at the bottom. Is that lungs? Brain and lungs and heart and all sorts going on there. They should be on the inside. And then just some very dull graphs. So, yeah. These were just like, yeah, a weird charity shop find, and I was out with my partner, and we both kind of laughed and went, they look very, 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 very boring. And then as we approached the till, she realised I had them in my hand. She was like, you buying them? It's like, of course I'm buying them. I've never seen anything like this on vinyl before. So let's have a little listen, shall we? So I think we're probably all in agreement. I'm not going to play them all for you because they are insufferably dull. But I think we all need to hear which patients need a diuretic.
There are 3 main groups of patients that need diuretic therapy. The first group consists of patients in incipient or frank heart failure, whether this is left or right ventricular failure. The second group consists of patients with hypertension. Mild hypertension may respond adequately to a diuretic alone. More severe hypertension needs a diuretic as an adjuvant to other more powerful hypotensive drugs. The third group of patients includes all those with fluid retention not due to heart failure. Patients with heart failure under close observation in hospital will probably take large doses of supplementary potassium. It is more difficult to ensure that the same number of tablets prescribed for a patient in his home is actually taken. When considering which potassium preparation to use, there are two important considerations. Firstly, which salt to use, and secondly, which preparation to prescribe. The chloride salt of potassium must be given, since an alkalosis is associated with diuretic-induced potassium depletion. The potassium-losing diuretics exchange sodium in the distal tubules for both potassium and hydrogen ions. Hence, the alkalosis due to the loss of hydrogen ions in the urine, as well as the potassium depletion due to loss of potassium ions in the urine. Hypokalemia in any case is likely to produce an alkalosis, since potassium ions will leave the cells in hypokalemia to be replaced by hydrogen ions from the plasma.
So yeah, I think they're some of the dullest records I own. I think I can say with pretty much firm conviction they are terribly, terribly dull. So let's see if Victor can do a little sneeze for us and brighten things up. Top man, Victor. Well, thank you for watching, and I hope this hasn't been too dull. It might have fired you up. You might be all over Discogs and eBay trying to find like medical symposiums on vinyl and like mixing with them. If there's any DJs that watch, like old school vinyl DJs, you might drop in a bit of Bomb the Bass. I'm showing my age. I don't know dance music very well. Bomb the Bass is one I remember. And then drop in a little bit of like a report on a symposium treatment of hypertension, a time for reappraisal. Imagine that, like everyone having a right good time, and you just drop in a little bit of...
In October 1973, some 300 leading physicians from Britain, Europe and beyond met at the Free University of Amsterdam to discuss the latest concepts in hypertension and to reappraise the management of this killing disease.
So thank you for watching, guys. And if you're joining me for some book chat, I will see you on Wednesday. And if you're just here for the vinyl, I'll see you next Sunday. You guys take care.